what happens is you start to increase your risk. You start to take B trades, trades that have a wider risk reward, don't have quite the risk reward parameters of your A plus trade. Not maybe lose 1, win 3.5. Maybe you're taking a lose 1, win 2. That's enough when you're on this kind of roll. You start to massage your risk parameters. This is what begins that big blowout trade that causes you to lose in one trade everything that you've built up in a series of winners. Whether it's a winners for the month, I've seen day traders do this. I've seen guys that trade off weekly charts do it, and that's the most devastating when you lose in one trade what you built up for 3 or 4 months. And it happens when you feel bulletproof. Look, there is a difference between being confident that you are a business person running an effective business and confident that nobody can, that you're never wrong. Those are two different kinds of self-assurance. One is over the top and not healthy, and one is where you want to be. You want to be controlled. You want to be a machine. You want to be ice in the veins. All right, you got to keep your targets in, or keep target orders in. You've got to keep your target orders in. That's the first key when you start to feel a little bit bulletproof. It's not time to lift your targets. That gets you started on the wrong foot, as you know. So can't go through all of the examples on all of these, but let's just keep moving. Those are two big ones: fear and greed, and the strength to pull the trigger. Characteristic 3: trade to make money. You're not here to do anything. You must keep this in the. You're not here to have a good time. You're not here to experience the juice of the market. You're here to make money. It is about the bottom line. You've got to make the right moves, and they must keep that in the forefront of your mind, making the right moves. Trade is not for ego. It's not proving to others that you're not the gambler they tell you that you are because you're in the futures market and in the stock market. You're a gambler. How can you do that? Throwing your money away. Well, you're not if you're a responsible professional trader, and that's what you can be if you can control your emotions. So that's enough for characteristic 3. Characteristic 4, visualizing your success as a trader. If you can visualize, if you just take 60 seconds, 120 seconds, very short period of time on a daily basis before you start trading, just sit down quietly and visualize your success for the day, where you want to be. Visualize yourself making the right moves. Visualize a very profitable bottom line on the other side. Then what happens? What happens is the clearer that you visualize, and it doesn't have to be crystal clear seeing visualization. I've never been one to see myself clearly. I'm always in a fog when I visualize. That's enough. What you want, because your subconscious mind will set neural pathways based on all your different tactile emotions. It'll do it based on audio, based on physical, based on visual, based on touch. So allow your mind to formulate your visions the way you want. For me, it's kind of a cloudy feeling kind of a thing. And to tell you the truth, as I learned how to visualize more and more, it did get clearer and clearer. I sometimes do have very clear visual. I'm generally a visual guy, as most of us are in the trading business, but it's important to understand that when you start to visualize, it may be a cloudy situation for you, and I don't want to put that in your head, but if it is, just keep going. Feel yourself succeeding at the end of the day. What happens when you visualize positive things in the future for yourself is that options will be presented to you that you'll be able to choose from, so that when that setup comes, you'll see that opportunity, you'll match it with the recent visualization of your success, and you'll take your trade. Very simple, very effective, and if there's nothing, I'm going to say this a couple of times, but this is one of them. There's nothing you take away from this. Start visualizing your success before you start your trading day. Okay? Very simple to do. If you do nothing, do that. Okay, let's keep going. See yourself, if you're him or her, as a trader. You must see yourself as a trader, not trying to be a trader, not planning to be a trader, not always being a trader. Either you're a trader or you're not a trader. You're not trying to be, you're not learning to be. It's like being half pregnant. You either are or you aren't. And so decide right now, are you a trader or aren't you a trader? And it's okay to say no. Believe me, it's okay to say no. Not everybody on this call should be trading. I purposely left some air there. So, but on the other hand, most of you have the ability to be a successful, consistent trader. You just need to control your emotions, and it's going to start with your visualization, with your seeing yourself as a successful trader. You move in the direction of your most predominant thought. Okay, there it is in a sentence. You move in the direction, the more you think about being a positive, successful trader, the more you will move in that direction, because the more you will be presented with the options that will get you there. The other side of that you must understand is that it's okay to make a wrong decision. I mean, sometimes we'll make a bad trade. Sometimes you'll hop off your system and you'll kick yourself. Hopefully you won't do that too much. But when you do, you need to forgive yourself. You need to get back on the horse, and you need to visualize yourself as a solid, successful trader. And you know what? Those mistakes do stop happening. So you move in the direction of your most predominant thought. This is not airy-fairy stuff. I'm not a guy that sits in the lotus position. I can't even cross my legs effectively in that kind of a position. But I can visualize. I'm an engineer that can visualize. There's not too many of us. And you can do it too. So start doing it. All right, number 5, strength to take your losses. The action part of letting losses execute. In other words, you've got to your plan. It's in your plan. Leave the stop in. Leave the stop in. If you find yourself wanting to lift stops or move stops, and you start getting discretionary, my advice to you is to turn that discretion into an if-then and make it another law for your plan. Okay, another something that you need to follow. Most discretion, in other words, if the market extends X amount, then you'll lift your stop to 1/3 X to follow that over your originally placed stop. In other words, you need to have parameters. Most discretionary moves can be made non-discretionary, and I urge you to do that. The most successful trading plans are ones that where you run them by rules. So the more you can do that, the better. Losses are part of the process of winning. We know that, but again, do you believe that? The strength to take losses avoids this devastating huge loss. And again, the hardest part to take a loss is when you're on a roll and you put on that lousy trade. Here you see it going again. You don't take the profit where you should, but you're invincible, and now a winning trade becomes a losing trade. But that's okay, because it's hitting a support level and it's bound to bounce. You start talking yourself into all the reasons why you lifted your stop, and that you start believing and defending yourself as superhuman that you came into the trade with, that overconfident feeling, and that results in the devastating huge loss. You finally take your profit, of course, when the market actually does reverse is when you take your profit, and you kick yourself again. So, I can give you the stories. You know all the stories. You've lived the stories. And I'm just here to say it doesn't have to be like that. It really doesn't. And Hubert and I can tell you, we laugh about this. We laugh. It's not at your expense, but we laugh about this sometimes. But when you make that flip, when you become the disciplined trader, life is so much easier. It really is. It really is. And it can happen. Okay? And it's a continuous thing. You're constantly training your mind and refreshing yourself. But once you get the core built in your subconscious mind, it's there for you to refresh. It doesn't take a long time. It takes one good sitting with yourself. Okay? So you can forgive yourself a lot quicker when you've got that core built to yourself. So discovering your core values, we really can't get into this today, but I will say that it's core values that really drive you. If I ask you, why are you a trader? What do you want out of being a trader? I want to make money. Well, that wouldn't probably help you. That probably wouldn't help you to hang on to that idea, because we all want to make money. That's not your core value. If I said to you, well, when you say you want to make money, what do you mean?